prefers to let his board do the talking.
He is without a shadow of a doubt the greatest surfer that has ever lived. Kelly Slater, 5 times world champion. For the last 4 years, virtually unbeatable in any contest. An ocean man freak who has changed the face of competitive surfing, leaving the rest of the world in his wake. For the last 2 weeks, the world champ has been in Queensland competing in the $200,000 Billabong Pro. He loves the Gold Coast for 2 reasons: the surf and the 60-odd available golf courses. Kelly, who plays off a single-figure handicap, only took up the sport 2 years ago.
Oh, that's a big drive.
In fact, he even had time to compete in the Reebok Charity Golf Day at Hope Island, alongside the boss of world surfing, Graham Stapleberg, 1978 world surfing champ Wayne Bartholomew, and having a rare day off from work, yours truly. Kelly plays off single figures. He swings the club like a pro, and he hits the ball consistently over 300 metres on the drive.
It's obviously a sport that goes hand in hand with surfing, I guess, in a way. You surf, you're on your own. You play golf, you're on your own. And the competitive instincts are similar to both.
Yeah, it's very much so, the competitive instincts. But, you know, average day out surfing, you're not being very competitive, whereas in golf you are. So it's different on that level, but I've learned a lot about keeping my head cool and really staying in the game, surfing, just from golf. And
in 30-knot winds and playing at Hope Island, Kelly had an 80 off the stick. And if he decides to lock up the broomstick in the closet, his scoring will continue to drop.
man, I don't know what's wrong with this damn thing. It didn't work today.
Might be bent.
Yeah, maybe I'm bent. Like, who knows?
Get out. That roll. Well, it goes a little.
Slater plays golf for fun. His business is surfing, and nobody does it any better. Heat by heat, Kelly proved to be invincible throughout the week and a half of the Billabong Pro.
Great surf. It's really just a perfect way to surf contest in. It's really rippable, high performance, there's good barrels, and you know, it's also a good spectator spot.
By the fourth round, his competitors weren't even bothering to show up. Brazilian Pedersen Rosa, who finished runner-up to Slater in last year's event, was last seen at the Rio Mardi Gras. Slater had the heat to himself. An expression session in the middle of a $200,000 tournament. The world champion on his own and having some fun. The question is, can anyone stop this Superman from Florida? Australia's Mark Occhilupo, who finished second to Slater last year, appears to be the main hope, but at 31 years of age, he may have left his run a little too late. Slater himself rates American Rob Machado as the man most likely to challenge him for this year's crown.
So I think Rob is going to hold true to that starting this year. And, you know, I think he had a tough year last year after, you know, we had a close duel the year before. And then last year, I just don't know if he was as motivated. And so I think he's got it back together this time. And, you know, he won a couple contests this year, and I think he's motivated. And I think he's more in control of what he's doing now. So.
And he's one of your best mates too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Kelly Slater, gunning for his 6th world surfing title, starting in sensational fashion by taking out the first event of the season, the Billabong Pro, a natural athlete who is set to dominate the sport for at least another 5 years. Glenn Palmer, the Sportsworld.
What an awesome...
Former world champ Tom Curran rates Kira as his favourite wave in the world and reacquainted himself with the insides of a couple of perfect tubes. Gold Coaster and number 2 in the world, Mark Occhilupo, lives at Kira and stole the tube of the morning in his own backyard. The swell outside was up to 3 metres, and world champ Kelly Slater and friends got Ironman Trevor Hendy to tow them into the set waves on his jet ski. This is the first time toe-ins were seen on the Gold Coast, normally a technique used on Hawaii's massive breaks.
They closed the beaches there today, so they got in early. That's sport tonight, Ashley.
The ticket cost Sydney surfer Joel Fitzgerald the chance to advance to the quarterfinals of the Gold Coast Pro Surfing Tournament today. On a day of upsets, organisers are still waiting to hear from Peterson Rosa of Brazil, who didn't show up for his heat today.
Joel Fitzgerald was on his way to his heat against veteran Gold Coast surfer Mark Occhilupo when he was pulled up for speeding. He made it into the water with only 8 minutes left in the half-hour heat, not long enough to beat the world number 2. World number 1, Kelly Slater from the United States, was even less trouble to win his heat. His opponent didn't even turn up. Organisers are still waiting to hear from Brazilian Peterson Rosa, who was beaten in last year's final by Slater. Slater's opponent in tomorrow's quarter-final will be local surfer and world number 9, Luke Egan. Also through to the quarters is Australian wildcard entry Luke Hitchings from Sydney, who added Shane Powell to the list of top 10 seeds he's eliminated. Peter McCarthy.
Exactly the same points in today's heats, setting up an epic clash tomorrow.
On Bunbury Cup Day in Adelaide, and the Billabong Pro on the Gold Coast today. But while the Aussies continue to wipe out some of the big names, the world's best, Kelly Slater, sounded an ominous warning.
Competitors were rubbing their hands together at the start of the 1.5 metre swell. Local Luke Egan carved it up today, but may hit the wall tomorrow when he meets world number 1 Kelly Slater. Slater gave Egan plenty to fear, showing exactly why he's top dog. Although the American struck some trouble early, there was never any doubt. In a spectacular show, Slater top scored with 25.9 from a possible 30, and even took the longboard out for a walk on the wild side. Giant killer Luke Hitchings proved worthy of his wild card, the Sydney sider again advancing in style and posting a challenge to the big guns.
Anyone can win out there. You see it's really inconsistent, and if you get the best wave, you're going to win.
What I was dealing with today, I was dealing with huge amounts of water breaking in perfect harmony with a perfect reef, making the most perfect waves you've ever seen in the most perfect atmosphere.
The speed of the wave is incredible. You can be so deep in the tube and be going so fast. As long as nothing touches you, you don't get clipped or anything. You can come out of some of the deepest barrels that, you know, you come out, you can't even wipe the grin off your face.